Hello and welcome to another episode of Functional Family Fridays. Hi, I'm Reiki Rita Roberts. Today we're going to talk about forgiveness, why you should forgive, and what it's all about, basically. Because a lot of people have a false sense of forgiveness. We've all heard the saying that staying angry is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die, which is absolutely true because you're only hurting yourself. Now, again, forgiveness doesn't mean that you're letting that person off the hook, doesn't mean that you're condoning their bad behavior or their abuse or whatever it is that's making you angry, resentful, and unforgiving. Okay? Because you're in pain right now. This is why we don't want to forget. We're holding on to that pain and that suffering. Okay? So we have a false sense of forgiveness. A lot of times people think that even if that person that has hurt them has died, that they've naturally forgiven them because they're no longer with us, which is not true because all the experiences and the memories are still up here. So you still have to forgive even someone who's hurt you that's passed on, whether they've passed on, whether they've left your life in a divorce or left you in a relationship or somehow excommunicated from you, you still have to forgive them. Now, why do I want to forgive them, Rita? They hurt me. You're doing it for you, not for them. Okay? Because remember, wounded people want to hurt other people, and they'll go after those that are vulnerable, those that are fearful, those are operating in low energy are victims to wounded people. Okay, so let me explain that. So what happens is, again, energy is your most valuable possession. Okay, it's not money. Money is another form of energy. Okay, so energy is your most valuable possession. People that are positive, that are, forgiving, that are loving, that are more, conscious, they know that they can get energy from positive things, whether it's spending time in nature, doing kind things, exercising, eating well, so forth, so meditation, so forth, so on. However, the majority of people, especially those that are anger, bitter, negative, fear-based, that are holding on to negativity, they get their energy from, guess where? You, from other people who are willing to hold on to anger too, so you mirror that same person and you're feeding them energy. That's how it happens. Okay? Now, again, it doesn't mean that by forgiving, you're condoning their actions. By forgiving, you're learning to release all those experiences, that lower vibrational negativity that no longer serves you and no longer is going to help you grow or evolve. And I bet you're feeling emotionally stuck, that your life hasn't changed, you're not meeting new people, you're not getting any good opportunities. Guess why? Because you're still stuck over there in unforgiveness. And when you decide to forgive, you basically cut those energetic lines that keep you attached to all this negativity or bad luck or whatever you want to call it. Okay? So, again, it's impossible to authentically forgive somebody unless you do the healing work on yourself first. Because a lot of times I hear all the time with clients, oh yeah, I've forgiven that person. Then as soon as I speak of them, you could see their whole body language change. They become agitated, angry, their voice raises. So you haven't forgiven, because if you're still feeling those emotions, you're still triggered, you haven't forgiven the person. Okay? So we're going to talk about how you know if you're ready to forgive. If you're ready to forgive that hurtful family member or whoever it is. So number one, the way that you know is you ready and willing to move past your past. Okay? So many times people will just search out Facebook or keep hanging on to the past and those memories and the same stories over and over and over. So you're just holding on to that pain. And as long as you hold on to it, then you're a perfect target for somebody who wants your energy. Okay? Number two, you're no longer emotionally triggered by this person. That's how you know that you're ready. Okay? When you want to move past the anger, the jealousy, the resentment, the bitterness, the revenge, right? People that have authentically forgiven are no longer triggered by that, okay? That no matter what they say, it just sort of washes off of you. You're not going to own that, okay? When you're still in unforgiveness, you're still owning it. You're still owning it because you're still in pain and anger and disappointment. So you're owning that, okay? Those that are ready to forgive and have forgiven don't feel that anymore, okay? And I know that with my ex-family, when I used to hear about drama and stuff like that from them, I used to feed off of it in the past, because remember what I said earlier, negativity attracts negativity, positivity attracts positivity. So when you're in unforgiveness, you're also negative, okay? So you also need negativity to feed off of. So you're feeding off the drama and the negativity of that person that you need to forgive. So you're both mirroring each other, where you're actually, and I know it's hard to admit, okay, because you think you're the victim, you're the wounded one, but you're acting the same way. You still want to stay stuck in victimhood, okay? So when you stay stuck in victimhood, then you're perfect prey for them, okay? Because their thoughts, your beliefs are going to keep feeding you that I deserve to be a victim, this person hurt me. You're holding on to pain, okay? And you're punishing yourself by holding on to pain, okay? So if you really want to heal, you have to be able to, you have to want to move past it so that you're no longer emotionally triggered by this person. So every time you hear their name or they come up in conversation, you're not losing your shit every time you hear that, okay? You're not losing energy. The other way that you know that you've forgiven this person is you rarely think about them. It's like they say, out of sight, out of mind. You don't think about them anymore. But when you're still in pain, you're constantly thinking about them, searching them on the internet. You're, trying to, stay connected to their acquaintances so that you can still somehow hear the drama. And you know what? I know, and I'm not blaming you. I did the same thing. Like I was starting to say earlier, when I was still connected to my toxic family, I wanted to hear every little morsel of what they were doing, what they weren't doing, because I was addicted to, because that's what I was feeding off of, that negative energy. And when you stay stuck in victimhood and pain, that's exactly what you're doing. But when you've really forgiven, you realize that they're wounded. I don't want to be like that. I want better for myself. Release. And you rarely think about them. You're focusing your energy on positive things, on growth, on creativity, okay, on new beginnings, new relationships, okay? And the other way you could tell is you no longer, again, feel negativity towards this person. In fact, you actually start to feel sorry for them. You actually feel empathy for them, okay? Because you are grateful that you've loved yourself enough to do the work, okay, to heal your emotions, and now you're so grateful for not being there anymore, okay? So you actually feel sorry because you remember what you felt like when you were that person, okay? When I think back at my dysfunctional, toxic family now, and I do sometimes hear about them, they're still stuck. And they're still wounded, they're more wounded. And I'm so grateful that I'm no longer part of that, So you move on. You don't feel any, I don't feel any negativity towards them. I actually feel sorry for them that they haven't done the work or invested in themselves to want a better life. Because, I mean, as we know, with all that's going on with COVID and our life, anything can change on a dime. And is that how you want to live your life? I don't think so. Okay? So the importance of forgiving is to release the past and move forward to a new beginning. Okay? It'll help you take your power back. But remember, only emotionally strong people can forgive, right? You gotta do the healing work on yourself first, and then you'll have the ability to forgive those people. You can't try to forgive them when you're angry or resentful or bitter or jealous. It's not authentic. Your energy is saying something else, okay? You're like saying, oh yeah, I forgive that person. My body language is saying otherwise, okay? So you're not kidding anybody but yourself, all right? So you got to do the work on yourself in order to emotionally evolve so that these people no longer get to you, okay? So that's how forgiveness, remember, forgiveness benefits you, okay? And it teaches them. That it shows them what an evolved person you are, and it sets an example to these people. That's how you become a teacher. So the only way to truly forgive whoever's hurting you right now or disappointing you, okay, or abusing you, is again to become more emotionally evolved than them, okay? So what I mean by that is like right now, you know, negative people, jealous, angry people, they rant, rave, they act like children. So in order to evolve, that means you're the adult here. You're the emotional adult here. So you're more evolved than a child. You're not going to rant, rave, and act like a child, because then you're on the same playing field as them, and the power struggles will continue. In order to move past this, you got to grow. You got to evolve so that you can look at their little ranting and raving and go, you know what, I'm past that. Move on. Okay, so I hope you found today's teaching helpful and understanding another way of looking at forgiveness and why you need to do that if you want to become happy. Okay, so again, I invite you to join me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube, and subscribe to my free Facebook group, which is called Stressful Family Relationships and How to Cope with Them, okay? As well, click the link and you'll get a free emotional checklist from me to you for tuning in. This is going to help you understand exactly where your emotions are. It's a quick, takes 2 minutes to do. Download it. If you're really ready and you're not kidding yourself and you're really ready, then I'm here to help you, okay? Otherwise, you're over there still. So I know that you've tuned in because you're tired, you're fed up, and you want joy and happiness in your life. So first we got to see what the state of your emotions are. So click the link below, do the quick checklist, and let's get you happy. So from my heart to yours, thank you for tuning in. Stay hopeful. Good things are on their way if you want it, okay? And I will see you next week at another episode of Functional Family Fridays. God bless. Stay in the light of love. Be well.